So, the Mamluks, one of the biggest nations in the EU4 start date. Gonna be a great video and game, right?
Surely this campaign is gonna be absolutely perfect and nothing wrong is gonna happen to us. Wait, aren't the Mamluks pretty strong?
They got a big income? Check. Decent government reform? Check. High starting development? Check. Decent ideas? Check. Nice formable nation? Well, Egypt and vanilla isn't a good formable nation, but who plays vanilla EU4 multiplayer nowadays anyways? If you've seen my Mamluks video from a long time ago, you might already know what the first problem is. And it's the menace in the north, the Turks. In other mods, or even in vanilla, it's very common for the Mamluks to try to form Room. Of course, that isn't a thing in Gecko, you just form Egypt, which gives you an upgraded version of your ideas, as well as giving you the Ottoman government reform. And that's not even considering all of the player nations that are near you, such as Ardabil, Yemen, Ethiopia, and Morocco. Well, that's no problem, Habibi. Aren't you an amazing Europa Universalis player? Well, yes, I'm pretty good, my dear viewer. What if I told you there were better players than me? Shocker. So let's get right into it.
What's up, chat? It's time to game. We are playing today as Mamluks. Chance of survival, seeing that I haven't played Mamluks or Ottomans since July, not that high. Not that high. We're in. We are in. All right, let's do this opener real quick. The tree got changed again, and now with the removal of Akalyunu's thing at start, you diplo-vassalize these three guys, and then you war Akalyunu, and then you run to the south. It's kind of confusing. What do you have to do? You gotta have the trenches? Trenches of what? Trenches of life? There are in life many rivers, and in life there are many trenches. You may go online, spend all your money at looking at titty streamers because Twitch recommends them for some reason. Oh, they stopped recommending them. Good. I was just gonna randomly pull up my thing, but I keep getting booby streamers. This is not a booba streamer. This is my friend. That doesn't count. But on my recommended, I get booba streamers all the time, and I'm like, dude, I don't watch booba streamers, and I never click on them. But now I'm not getting them again, so that's a good sign. Why does Twitch always recommend us the booba streams? I don't want to look at these lousy boobs. These women aren't even hot. But I tell you, everyone that's watching, all 208 of you, that you can become the booba streamer. You can become the booba streamer. All you have to do is show your feet. Shave the hair. Only stream with your feet. Enough of the inspirational speeches. Back to the actual EU4 action. We go back and we are fighting against Akalyunu, of course, an AI. One thing that we were doing in the beginning of this campaign is we were actually cooperating with the Ottomans play. One of the easier ways to stay alive and prosper as the Mamluks is just cooperate with the Ottomans. You don't really have to ally them or anything, you just don't fight them. And meanwhile, you focus on expanding into the Middle East, into Africa, and killing all of the smaller players around you. Of course, that's kind of anti-fun for the smaller nations, but we were just cooperating as of now, just to avoid fighting an early game rush. All right, let's see what this mission does. I'm very curious. Oh, are you kidding? Oh yeah, that's broken, dude.
He's supposed to release Iraq
and then give it,
and then they get it all. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I messed up.
Well, I mean, you can just deck on it, so not really. But...
So yeah, a mistake made from basically being unexperienced with Mamluks, but we were still doing things with our mission tree, like getting cloves in our capital and diplo-vassalizing all the Arabian minor nations around us. But the time for peace was coming to an end. You see, Ottomans were building a fort in his vassal in Adana, and the fort was just about to complete. And if we were able to capture this fort as it was about to complete, it would immediately go to us, and we would have a defensive advantage on the Ottomans. So we rushed the fort and took our claim. This war is make or break for both sides, so both of us triggered our golden era and basically every single military thing that we could pop in order to give us an advantage.
Does shock damage and land maintenance. He's probably going to click Tech 6. We had to rush that fort though. We had to. It was about to become a fort. As you can see, it's a tick away from becoming a fort.
Despite having more boats, Navy sadly went into the favor of the Ottomans.
Gotta click this mission. Do we have the scholar? We do.
The Ottomans had Tech 6, which is actually a huge tech, and due to that, we was doing a lot more damage. We were winning the battles though, due to having a better general in shock, as well as higher morale.
He has Tech 6, but I have 4.9 morale to his 3.4.
The question was, how long could I sustain fighting like this, taking those damages? As this is an early game war, we really have to be careful with the longevity of our army. Being able to maintain our high amount of force limit with manpower as well as with money is a very important thing. And usually the winner in these type of wars are the one who is able to last longer.
Damage is a bit badonkadonk there.
Not having Tech 6 now was feeling more and more dire.
Damage is actually badonkadonk. I need the Mamluks of Denial. Where's my Merc stack? Delete this Merc stack. Get Mamluks of Denial. Jeez. Nah, without Tech 6 is just so hard. We'll try one more thing. He's gonna get it. No way he doesn't. Wait, what? They got stack wiped. How? What? They got wiped mid-battle, dude. This is truly a Peppa laugh moment, dude. Yeah, I'm out of money too.
This war was lost. The big mistake here was I kind of got too eager going for the fort, but I was unlucky with my ruler getting a 2 mil on my king, making it much harder for me to do stuff like fill out ideas as well as get tech, and I made the mistake of filling out ideas rather than getting tech. A mistake that I've done before too. Now it was time to bankrupt, and the best way to do this in this situation is try to do as much damage as possible, and then right before bankruptcy we will do an unconditional surrender. That way when he does take money, because 99.9% chance he will take money, we will not lose the money, it will just trigger a bankruptcy and we will immediately bankrupt. However, during bankruptcy, we're going to be vulnerable to the Ottomans attacking us again with a truce break, since one truce break is allowed per war cycle per side, or even Yemen and Ethiopia, who both have borders with me. However, this wasn't a complete blowout, as the Ottomans had gone 11k in debt. This early on means that at some point he is going to have to bankrupt. That would be the best time to strike back.
That strength stack wipe was bald, and he is in 10k debt. We're in 11k debt, so I don't know.
But luckily, losing land increased our loan cap. Of course, this is also because of revanchism giving a little bit of interest, which means we were no longer about to bankrupt. We would still have to bankrupt here, but that gave us more time and gave us the ability to give land and money to both Ethiopia and Yemen, which did cost our great power status. However, now we had truces with everyone on our border. The Ottomans were busy fighting Hungary, and I used this time to build up a monument. Little known fact that if you upgrade a monument and then bankrupt, the monument doesn't downgrade. So you can actually dump a bunch of money onto a monument and then bankrupt. And I was here deciding what would be the best option. This is modded multiplayer game, so there's multiple different monuments, and I was deciding which one would be best here. And in the end, I decided to go for the monument of Karak, which gives shock damage at level 3. So I just upgraded it all the way to level 3 using all of the rest of the money during the right before bankruptcy, and that was that.
All right, bankruptcy time.
And by the time we were out of bankruptcy, Ottomans were in their second year of bankruptcy, so we were able to truce break him.
This is big brain time. We take religious ideas for the first thing, province war score cost, so I can take more land from the treacherous Ottomans. Why am I talking like this? Taking all my cores is only 30 war score? It's time to start carpet sieging. I was worried about his army. As soon as I carpet siege, he's gonna run around catching my army. But once we get these forts, we just carpet siege. He's gonna truce break. He's gonna truce break, right? I'm just gonna go for this. No loans. 5-6. Then we click this mission, chat. 5-6-6. And he's strict. Manpower, yeah, I need to start building troops again. Honestly, I do have to fight Arabia. I have to fight both Arabia and Ethiopia. My problem is if I fight Ethiopia, I'm pretty sure if I attack Arabia, Ethiopia joins. If I attack Ethiopia, Arabia joins. We build right now anyways. We build. In order to form Egypt, I need to fight Ethiopia. Actually, I don't want to fight anyone right now. While we have this 5-6-6, that's monarch points. That's points for developing, my guy. I have 14 more years. I have 14 more years of Eco Golden Era. We dev and build. Even after beating Ottomans, we were still only the 8th GP in the lobby. My strategy to basically build out of this was to sell crownlands and then do a big development cycle, developing a lot of our lower dev provinces, specifically in the Iraq region as well as in the Nile. Through simple developing as well as building up simple production and taxation buildings, we were able to get our income to a pretty decent state. Now that our economy was stronger, we could actually contest any opponent that decided to attack us. All right, diplomacy is being done.
Although for a while it seemed like we weren't going to be able to expand for a bit because of the Ottomans' looming threat of always joining a war against us, as well as the Ethiopia, Arabia, and Persia alliance, we were able to get Persia out by offering him an alliance with us instead, and a moment came upon us that we could strike. Arabia had, for some reason, rivaled Ethiopia, and that meant that they would be unable to ally. So we striked Arabia, and we striked him fast because we still had to worry about the Ottomans.
Oh, here we go. Jeez, this build is actually doing work.
Arabia may have seemed small, however, he was a tall, well-developed nation, so we should not underestimate him. The main reason why we were doing so well in the battles, though, was our much more superior general.
Any D&B enjoyers in chat? I'm doing diplomacy with Ethiopia while this is going on.
Our war with Arabia was over, but we still had a 10 discipline event as well as our 6 shock general. And we used the opportunity to attack Ethiopia to get our lands needed in order to form Egypt, which surprisingly Ethiopia gave us with no fight.
Literally, the humans.
Arabia, do you understand that?
And just like that, chat, just like that, in the matter of 2 wars, we are a 4th GP Mamluks. Let's go. Why do you give him so much for basically free? He just got his war with the Spain and Portugal, and I just threatened war basically against him. I said I'm gonna attack you, and he backed down. Especially since you see, you know, when you win a war in 5 months in an MP game, people pay attention to these things. So, and when you have the biggest army in the game, you gotta use it to do stuff. And according to the thing, I did have the biggest army in the game. You just got out of a big war, so it's like, here you go, another big power coming to attack you. But, you know, gotta do what you gotta do, honestly, in this. And when our truce was up with Arabia, we attacked him once again. This time, he had help from both Ethiopia and Persia. However, we just had to give some concessions to Persia, some small ones, in order to get him out of the war, leaving us still, though, against Ethiopia. I think I'm gonna rush the capital of Arabia and go for truce break. I mean,
Guys, I'm gonna do
max
my
money, remove
This time,
alliances,
Now I'm not making sauce.
and then go for the truce break. We'll have to get one more merc stack. I'll probably take this musket company. Actually, he has a bonus to fire. We should probably take a different company. I kind of want them to come to the same front, though. I don't want to move around, up and down. Gets to the 4, I'll put defensive edict. The first battle took place in the capital city of Arabia in Riyadh. And like I was saying earlier, Ethiopia wasn't concentrated on the same front, so we still had a troop advantage while fighting just Arabia. He's telling him, come, come. If you just bring your army, we can win. He's going up, down, up, down. The old player's like, which way do I go? Which way do I go? Okay, I'll move it. I'll move it. I'll move it. I'll move it. You can go. 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 Trust, trust, trust. They're coming! We were winning the war pretty hard, but as we were winning, the Ottomans striked us, claiming back his Turkish lands. I didn't have the manpower reserves to fight the Ottomans even if I decided to stab hit Arabia out of this war, so I basically asked him to send a peace deal immediately so I could accept it. You gotta take some losses somewhere. Whatever. We have 95 on this guy. With 95% war score, we were able to enforce peace on Arabia and end the war against him, expanding our territory further into the Arabian Peninsula. Well, Arabia is alone now. Ottomans took back some provinces, but it's fine, whatever. We're gonna have to truce break this guy as soon as the cores are over. And now that the Arabia player was dead, our main 2 enemies on our borders
were the Ottomans and Ethiopia. Also in between the wars, we were able to form Egypt, which if you read the title of this video, you would know is a very strong formable in this mod, which we will go over shortly right now. Forming Egypt is quite easy in Gecko. All you need besides your already starting territory is the state of Lower Nubia. Once you have that one, you will get the decision at Tech 10 to form Egypt. However, you don't want to rush it since a lot of the better military modifiers are near the end of your mission, end of your ideas. From forming Egypt, you get 10 cav combat ability, -5 regiment cost, 5 dev cost, 10 production ability, 15 manpower recovery speed, 15 reinforce speed, 10 morale, 33 army drill gain modifier, -15 land attrition, +10 trade efficiency, +2.5 discipline, and +33 land force limit. In addition to getting the ideas, you also get the Ottoman government type, which gives you access to janissaries, and also gives you the Mamluk Aristocracy, which you already start with, which gives you bonuses to shock damage and cavalry. Also, as part of being the Ottoman government type, you do get the Ottoman special reforms, which do give you bonuses to your janissaries later on, which are not too bad. The next part of the campaign was played by my friend Keglez, who's actually streams and is a quite good player at EU4, so I recommend you check him out. His link is in the description. The only words that I told him as basically advice or instructions to substitute my nation was to finish off the weaklings on the border. So what did he do? Well, he spent about 10 to 20 years building up my nation, since I actually had quite a lot of build up to do on my nation. The diplomacy in between sessions did change, however. Ethiopia was not isolated, he was being protected by Great Zimbabwe, and Persia was now fighting Hindustan, which he requested Keglez to help, which he initially did.
Okay, let's go. Income chat, it's 155, it's Habibi Nation.
Hey, what's that supposed to mean? Yeah, actually, don't check out his Twitch. I'm just kidding. No, he's right. I spent too much time fighting instead of just building up this campaign, as I tend to do. Common theme on this channel. The people on my Twitch chat, they just tell me, go, 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 and I listen to them. I also noticed that he does much more diplomacy than I do when it comes to my gameplay. Something I should be taking note of.
Maybe I take some.
Fortunately, I was only able to capture half of his session because the other half that I downloaded got corrupted, and then his VOD got deleted over 3 weeks. So back to my gameplay, I guess. State of our country, it's 1600. Here's the state of the world as well with the player map mode. Last session I wasn't here. I had a sub, but basically Persia fell to Hindustan. We finished off Arabia. I was the one that killed them. And then he killed Ethiopia once he was isolated, since Great Zimbabwe was preoccupied fighting Portugal. So all of the little younglings are dead around us. The thing is, Ottomans are still here. They're still insane nation. 700 more dev than me somehow. A lot more dev clicks. I think he did like maybe 400 more dev clicks. So just in that regard alone, we're behind. But hey, today we're gonna be getting Tech 17. Tech 17 gives us the dev cost modifier, and also yeah, we can try to continue to scale our economy and maybe even fight 1 versus 1 against the Ottomans today. I think ideas did he go? He went quality defensive. I went defensive offensive. Important thing to look at is the dev map mode. He's almost all yellow and green. I still have a lot of red provinces. That is because most of the red provinces are desert. But I think with this tech and universities and courthouses, we can start deving a lot more than he can dev, while also expanding into the AI. I think
I might be wrong on this. I think this is his time to attack me if he was gonna attack me. So I'm ready for an attack. That's why we're at force limit. But yeah, like I think I have a lot to dev. You have to keep in mind the Ottomans have deved almost 400 times, actually more than 400 times than we have deved. The Ottomans player has deved 400 times more than we have clicked the dev buttons. He's somewhere around 800 dev clicks, while I'm somewhere around 400. Who has the better pips? We have the same unit types. So clearly our nation did require a bunch of building after our wars against Arabia and Ethiopia, which, thanks to our sub, a lot of it was already done. We did, of course, still have some places to continue our developing in, especially in the desert provinces. Also, a thing to note is that many of the Persian and Ethiopian land that we got was also not well developed and built up. And after a good amount of building up, we decided to attack Great Zimbabwe. Jeez. All the sand shall be ours. The war against Great Zimbabwe was quite easy as he was isolated, and we didn't commit our full army, so it would have been an equal battle, but our quality was actually quite strong at this point compared to his, and we were able to use this war to secure the Horn of Africa. Actually, fighting Hindustan, is it strong? He's 8th GP. Well, that's not saying much because he just doesn't have an institution. This guy deving, dude. Is this game winner? No, dude. I think Ottomans might be game winner. It really depends on this 1v1 I have with the Ottomans. Meanwhile, in the Discord.
Hey,
Accept.
Habibi is watching too now. Everybody's watching.
You get in for the intro. It's poggers.
Famous streamer.
He's just playing League. He's not even in the game.
Start spamming. Go.
Wait,
Wait,
what?
What?
There's no people joining who are not playing the game. This guy's streaming League.
It's called a cigarette. Can you type it in chat?
No German Federation.
And then there's no one fighting in the game. There's no one fighting a player war in the game, dude. Okay, we need to start World War. I'm not ready yet. Unfortunately, in competitive Europa Universalis games, I know competitive Europa Universalis don't really go in the same sentence. But what happens is that a lot of people get really strong and then the game becomes quite stale with a lot of nations dying and a lot of people leaving the game. It was 1630 and there was less than 10 players in the entire lobby. However, the stalemate in the lobby did not last long as the very strong and consolidated Hindustan attacked us. I was preparing for a war against the Ottomans, but the Hindustan player attacked us with the tech 12 years ahead of time and was able to get our key forts in the south of Persia, our mountain forts. And the battles were going severely in his favor. Sometimes he was getting 3-1 losses. We were taking so much damage since it was an infantry tech and he has a lot of buffs to infantry and land fire damage. And just like our wars against Arabia, his war was incredibly fast and he was able to secure 95% war score and enforce on us, leading to a surprisingly common Habibi L.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer.
At this point, the players in the lobby were voting to end the lobby and have it be the last session. So I wanted to fight the Ottomans one more time. Potentially we could secure one final victory. Ottomans had a force limit advantage, a manpower advantage, a income advantage, and a development advantage. I was just hoping that we could potentially secure the war goal, then keep fighting and get enough war score to peace out. Not really the best plan, but you know, I was kind of getting over playing this nation and the time of playing Egypt for me was coming to an end anyways. The war was very concentrated on this one front. In classic EU4 multiplayer action, both of us were yielding 1 million troops on the battlefield. Some of the initial battles were going in our favor. However, in some of these cases, we were taking much more damage than the Ottomans. This will turn the war, chat. 6-6 general. Both! Am I winning both? Bismillah, 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 bismillah. Bismillah.
Reinforce! Yes!
Easy.
Yes! I can't cut off reinforcements, dude. I actually can't. It's forts. It's forts. It's forts. So hard to break.
I played Egypt and this happened.
I think it's better than I show the most OP of all OP strats. I broke the game. I broke the game.
I broke the game 3 dots.
Both buttons.
Shut up.
And now I'm getting stab hit. I mean, I made the Turks take how much death? 80k death! Me and Ottomans just literally can't win against each other. Like, he pushes, he loses. I push, I lose. Try one more time. And with that, basically the same way it ended. We ended up losing to the Ottomans, but barely. And both of us being in economic strife afterwards. And anyways, the funniest part of all of this is while me focusing on the Middle East and fighting Hindustan and fighting Ottomans, the true number 1 and number 2 GPs were in Iberia. Both Portugal and Spain were insanely strong in this game. Meanwhile, my guy's still streaming League of Legends in the other voice channel. And this is the end of this campaign. I definitely need to play more Ottomans and Mamluks because they are kind of a core nations in EU4 multiplayer. And personally, I never enjoyed them that much because of the early game warring, and fighting in the first 50 years of the game is my least favorite time to fight in Europa Universalis 4. But if this video gets 50,000 views, I will play another Ottomans or Mamluks campaign. Write down in the comments which one you would like to see more, Ottomans or another Mamluk campaign. And of course, that means the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was maybe not the best performance on my part, but overall pretty good considering we started the campaign out by losing 3 wars in a row. On the topic of lack of uploads, something that I wanted to mention in the end of the video for the most hardened of viewers, because if you're watching the video at this point, you're a true absolute Habibi fan. I wanted to firstly say that it was not my intention, again, to not upload with basically 1 month in between uploads, because that's when my last upload was 1 month ago. However, over the course of February, the first 2-3 weeks of February, I was teaching someone how to basically edit my videos. And sometime about last week, the beginning of last week, that person decided that he did not want to edit my videos anymore. I did also look through other avenues, such as contacting other editors, such as the editor for ISP and Bo Cohen, but I simply can't afford him right now. For his rate is too high for me for the amount of views that I get and the amount of ad revenue I get for my videos. And I also contacted Marconi's editing studio, who are now trying to branch out of just Paradox content creators. So that also fell through. It seems that I'm just going to have to upload and edit my own videos, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be streaming a little bit less. I have right now maybe a backlog of about 18 videos. Yes, you heard that right. 18 videos that I have ready. The content is ready. I just need to edit them and start working on them. If someone's interested and wants to start editing for me, I'm no longer willing to go down the path of teaching someone and doing a mentorship on editing. I'm looking for someone that already has experience. We can talk about rates, talk about how much you can make per video. If you contact me in my Discord, which will be down in the description, or you can contact me via email, which will also be in the description. But yeah, I'll just have to edit, stream a little bit less, get this backlog of videos done, and then start streaming more so I can make content. The real struggle, though, is editing down Europa Universalis videos. I've talked about this previously in my other videos in the past, and the main issue is Europa Universalis videos, both single player and multiplayer, end up being about 20 to 28 hours of footage that I need to edit down into one video, because I feel like that format is a lot more appealing, and I don't want to be doing the parts which I used to do in the past.
Now, I think the solution for me is that I'm actually going to be branching out, and I've talked about in this past wanting to branch out. The main game that I'm going to be branching out, and you'll be seeing a lot of uploads in the future, is Hearts of Iron 4. I still will have Europa Universalis videos, just they won't be as frequent as my Hearts of Iron 4 videos. So if you do like my content and you do like me, even if it's not Europa Universalis, keep checking out my videos. And if you are here just for the Europa Universalis 4 videos, that's totally fine. I'll still be uploading those semi-regularly. Right now, after this campaign, I have a Prussia video coming up. I have a Spain video coming up. I have 2 Anbanar videos coming up, and I have a Portugal video coming up. So stay tuned. I also potentially have a single player campaign lined up, and I also have a single player campaign for the next patch coming up. I can't really give more information about that, just can tell you that that is coming and will be in there in the future. Please tell me down below in the comments what other games would you like to watch me play, and upvote them so I know which of the games that a lot of you guys would be interested in. I'm right now trying a bunch of different games on my stream. If you've watched my stream recently, you can also support me on there, twitch.tv/absolhabibi. Link will also be in the description. But the goal now for the next coming months is that I do want to upload a lot more. And if I can't get an editor, I'll just have to do it myself. And on the topic of editor, I'm also looking for a shorts editor, someone who wants to do shorts content. If you didn't know, shorts now get decent ad revenue. So if you're also interested in making YouTube shorts for me, not interested in doing the big videos, I'm also all ears. Again, I'm not going to go through the training process again just because of the experience that I went through over the last month. So let me know, guys. I'm still around. I'm still going to be uploading, still going to be making a lot of content. Thank you for sticking around. Thank you for being an absolute Habibi fan, and I'll see you in the next video. See ya.